for an injured Jimmy G during Sunday's loss to the Seahawks, and Lance looked pretty good. He threw 2 touchdowns. We might be seeing a lot more of him. Jimmy G undergoing an MRI on his calf today. The thinking it could be a couple of weeks, and that sets up the rookie Lance to make his first start next week against Kyler and the undefeated Cardinals. So, Broussard, is this Trey Lance's job now, regardless of Jimmy G's health?
I don't think so. And we knew this was predictable. This was one of the most predictable things in the league. And this is why they moved up to draft a quarterback. All right, we knew Jimmy G, unfortunately, was going to get hurt at some point. However, I have to wait and see how Trey Lance looks. Now, I know you can just look at the box score yesterday and say, oh, wow, 2 touchdowns, a 76-yarder to Deebo Samuel. First of all, the 76-yard touchdown, I mean, Deebo Samuel, there wasn't another defender within 25 yards of him. All right, yeah, so I can't, I mean, you get credit for it on the stat sheet, but come on, anybody could have thrown that pass. Then, I don't think Trey Lance looked great until the last drive of the game when he had 7 completions. That was good, and he ran the ball well. But Seattle was up 2 touchdowns, so their defense has softened. It was kind of a meaningless drive. So I haven't seen enough from Trey Lance to say he is definitely the quarterback from here on out, because they're trying to win games. Like, this is a San Francisco team that I think could be a contender in the NFC West, and thus the whole NFC. And right now, Jimmy G, I think healthy, gives you a better chance to win than Trey Lance. Now, if Trey Lance goes out next week and lights up the Arizona Cardinals, even if they lose, Nick, then maybe I stick with Lance. But if he goes out there and struggles, then why wouldn't I bring Jimmy G back after the bye week if he's healthy? Because they still could win games this year.
Because Jimmy G's not good. That's why. Because Jimmy G did in this game. This was a perfect microcosm for Jimmy G's whole run in San Francisco. A few nice throws, 1 terrible pick, and an injury. Like, what are we talking about? Trey Lance is going to have to be absolutely unplayably bad to not be the starting quarterback moving forward. Kyle Shanahan has wanted to pull this trigger since he traded up for Trey Lance in the draft and has been waiting for the inevitable. And listen, I know it sounds harsh, and I know Jimmy G was choked up at the press conference, but it is what it is. Some guys' bodies, it would appear, are not made to play 16 and now 17 game seasons. Jimmy G's got one of those bodies. And he had another, as coach would say, make-it-happen play early in this game, the interception, just like he had a couple make-it-happen plays against the Packers, which helped lead to that loss. Like, this is Trey Lance's job. I don't even know if it was going to take the Jimmy G injury. When I saw Lance was in at halftime, I thought Jimmy G had just gotten benched. It's like, well, we've scored 7 points on Seattle. He's thrown a pick. Like, let's just go with Trey Lance. They didn't trade up to not play him. And so now Trey Lance is going to have to be truly terrible for him not to be the quarterback moving forward, Coach.
This is actually a really good situation out of a bad situation. And nobody wants their starting quarterback to go down. But this is an opportunity to go and see what Lance can do, to give him a full week of preparation. And if it goes well, great. You can give Jimmy more time to heal his injury and make the decision, push the decision to bring him back down the line. If it doesn't go well, then you have the ability to go back to Jimmy Garoppolo without crushing Trey Lance's confidence or the confidence the group has around him. So it sets up nicely to see whether or not Trey is ready at this point to perform the way they hope they can. But there's going to be learning curves. There's always learning curves with young players. But can his broken plays equal big plays? Can his mistakes turn into something really positive? And athletically, he should be able to make things happen that obviously Jimmy can't because of the difference in what they bring to the field.
Head coach Eric Mangini. Coach, big win for the Dallas Cowboys yesterday over the previously undefeated Carolina Panthers. Thank you, Dak Prescott. Thank you, Ezekiel Elliott. Zeke with over 100 yards for the first time this season. 20 carries, $143. Dak threw touchdowns to 4 different receivers. And the Dallas Cowboys are now 3-1 and headed in only one direction, according to Dak. Take a listen.
we want to be the best, and we want to win, and we want to win late in the year, and we want to go play in the last game out in California. And so we got to continue to build on this culture week in and week out. No matter what situation we are in the game, we've got to lock arms and just trust our brotherhood and everything and all the commitment we've had up to this point, and continue to grow and continue to get better.
Big reason the Cowboys won, second-year stud Trayvon Diggs. 2 more picks in this game for Dallas. Only 2 entire teams have more picks than Diggs, 5 this season. Complete game on offense, a complete game on defense for the Dallas Cowboys. Chris Broussard, is Dallas starting to look like a Super Bowl contender after getting to 3-1 yesterday?
Well, Jenna, because of the last quarter century of futility in Dallas, it's hard for me to really go all in on the Cowboys, but I'm doing it. I'm diving in the pool, all right? I am now saying the Dallas Cowboys are a contender. Now, I still wouldn't call them the best team in the NFC. I still think there's maybe 3 teams better than them right now, but I'll say they're a legitimate contender now. I mean, they've got great win. They played the defending Super Bowl champions really closely. Barely lost to them, beat a good Chargers team, annihilated a Philadelphia team, and actually beat them worse than Knicks Chiefs beat them. And then yesterday took an undefeated Carolina team and pretty much owned them. The offense is balanced. I firmly believe this, Coach, that the criticism of Ezekiel Elliott and the threat that everybody was putting out there of Tony Pollard being better than him has totally changed things for Zeke. And he is now motivated and running like he's a rookie trying to get a big contract in a few years. So the run game is great. They haven't even had to unleash Dak the last few weeks. When they need to, we know what they can do there. And then defensively, they're very good against the run. And now with Trayvon Diggs, the pass defense, they still obviously have weak spots in other parts of the secondary. But Trayvon Diggs, I called him a Pro Bowler last week. I may have underestimated him. So, yeah, I think they're a contender, Coach, in the NFC.
Well, Chris, when you look at the game plan, it's interesting that if you give Zeke the ball 20 times since 2018, they're 13-5. When it's all about letting Dak throw the ball and you know, what is it? Now we're going to let Dak cook and Dak, whatever it is. There's a consistent formula in Dallas that wins, and they follow that formula, and suddenly they win. And if you keep giving the ball and establishing the run, and even if you want to mix who you give the ball to, it opens up so many things for Dak. And it was interesting watching Dak's press conference. He was almost disappointed when he realized how few pass attempts he had, you know, as he's talking about it, even though he was really excited about the game. But this is the way that Dallas needs to go. And with that young defense, there are positive things that are happening, but running the ball and controlling time of possession really helps them too. And it's a complementary game plan that I know Nick hates because he only thinks people should throw the ball.
I don't hate it. No, listen. And I was thinking about you when I was watching this game. And I was prepared to do this because unlike my dear beloved colleagues, Chris Broussard and Kevin Wildes, I can admit when I was wrong. And up to this point, I may have been wrong about Zeke. I said Zeke was done as a high-level NFL running back. I don't even care about the 40-plus yard run he had yesterday. There was a kind of mundane run on 2nd and 5 where he was hit a yard after the line of scrimmage and fought his way forward for the first down. And I was like, oh, I recognize that Ezekiel Elliott. That's the Ezekiel Elliott from Ohio State. That's the Ezekiel Elliott from his first year in football and the year after. This Cowboys team